as we see more evidence of war crimes being committed in Ukraine, the more the anger is growing in Europe, both amongst politicians and the public, to actually go and do more and take bigger steps. Now, whether this could bring an end to the war is another matter, because this is a war that should never have started in the first place. You would think that President Putin would have known that there would be a response to this, and the response just seems to be making him go even more aggressively in terms of the attacks on Ukraine. So at the moment, there isn't a sign of an end to the war. The ruble initially collapsed, but then recovered because the central bank has tried to take steps to support it. But nevertheless, this is going to have a devastating effect on the Russian economy. It will take time. For sure, it could set back the Russian economy maybe a couple of decades. We could easily see a 10% contraction in GDP now this year.
And you mentioned the economy going back decades. Can you outline for us the sorts of impacts on ordinary Russians?
Well, you're seeing it already. You're seeing prices surge. And if the ruble goes into another tailspin, prices will surge even more because imported goods will go up. The purchasing power of the Russian ruble will go down. You are seeing signs of shortages in supermarkets, and that will presumably only get worse.
How is Taiwan's economy being affected by Russia's war in Ukraine?
It's coming in a number of ways. First of all, the war in Ukraine is creating a global supply shock. There is a shortage of key commodities, if you like, which is pushing up prices of commodities very, very fast. That's creating global inflation. It's putting up inflation around the world, including in Taiwan. Now, Taiwan is a big exporter, so it needs to have vibrant world markets to export into. It needs to have a good, strong global economy to be able to export to. And also there's an impact through financial markets as well. Emerging markets this quarter have suffered their first portfolio outflows in about 2 years. So considerable outflows from emerging markets, particularly from China. But emerging markets tend to be the first markets that take the brunt of a global crisis. People withdraw from them very quickly because they see them as being vulnerable to currency shocks, vulnerable to inflation and slowing global growth. In terms of economic impact on Taiwan, it's hard to know because a lot depends upon how this goes on, and we're only seeing really the beginnings of this. So as the economic data comes through over the next couple of months, we'll start to get a better picture of just how much it is affecting economies like Taiwan.